Yep. Here's another one.
I'm gonna be in your yard. I'm sorry. Not sorry.
Sorry so much. The Ew. Got the butthole pipes and the tilty. No. No, thank you. Damn boy. Damn boy. Hey thick boy. Now, I know the first question that you have right now is why? You know, why a CRV? Well, I need money, and this is not going to stay here. This is going to be a very short series, okay? Very short time. I'm just fostering this one right now. Like I said, I need money, and all the other ones just take it. This is going to take a little bit, but it's going to give me back some. You know what I mean? The other ones, all they do is just take it, and it's starting to suck a lot. So I have multiple money takers, but I only have one money maker, if that makes sense, which is, you know, my main job, right? So this one is a 1999 Honda CR-V, and super clean, like super clean. The red is like it rolled off the showroom floor. Like there's no clear coat damage. There are no dents anywhere. And it looks like it was just painted. So it's definitely not that pinkish color that these older Honda, you know, the red normally takes. So yeah, it's basically brand new. It's basically a brand new car. This one's got 206,000 miles on it, and my buddy Devin owned it for a while. He pretty much suspected that it jumped time, and it's been sitting since 2022. So what we're gonna do is pull the valve cover. I'm gonna pull that small timing cover on the top, and off camera, whenever Ryan and I went to get it, I checked the ignition coil, because the ignition coils on B-Series are like, I don't know, they're terrible. That's all I can say. They're just crappy. So it's not like they're old or anything. I pulled a plug and a coil out, or a plug and a wire out. I've been working on newer models too long. Goodness. A plug and a wire out, and tested spark. We have spark. Very healthy spark, I might add. So I know we're getting fuel because I could smell it while I was spinning it over, and I would turn it over for you so that you could hear it. But just in case, which it may have already happened, but maybe it didn't jump time enough to bend valves. Fingers crossed. I'm not holding my breath, but you know, sometimes you gotta wish upon a star that, you know, it didn't happen. You're going to yank this valve cover off real quick. Get away from me. I got a bee that's wanting to be my friend. I really don't want to be its friend. I don't know if you know this, but it feels really good outside. Jesus. Come on, you little hoe. Ooh, that's crunchy. Oh yeah, that's real crunchy. I don't know if I like that. Oh. Devin put the absolute fang on these, dog. Devin, they don't have to be this tight, brother, man. They're not gonna walk away on you. Jeez. Found the issue right there. Daggum valve cover's too dang tight, boy. I almost brought my impact, and then I was like, nah, I won't need that. Okay, well, okay, how about now? Nope, okay. Okay, how about now? Yeah, cool. I guess I lost a, will do, Hickey. Will do, Dabby, right here. That's okay. We'll get more. You don't want to lose these little dudes like I did a minute ago. So, take your little flight head, pop these up before you go yanking this valve cover off. And normally they're good and welded, so not only do you end up, you know, ruining it when you do this, but you also jab yourself in the finger about 57 million times before you ever get it off. Well, I mean, just hey, there it is. Found it. Oh, one more. Can we send this one to the moon as well? Because that's where his friends have gone. I might refinish this valve cover as well, because this thing just looks bad, man. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, yep, that's good. That broke. Alrighty. Is this... Well, it looks slightly alright, but God, I hate these Velcro kits. These Velcro kits are junk. Quit freaking buying them. I hate them. They're stupid. Okay, so I don't know if you can see those very well, but you've got up and up, and they look relatively in the same place. So either our crankshaft pulley is out, or this isn't our issue. Alright then. Wrong way now. Alright, so the cams are lined up. Oh, dude. Yeah, that crank is way out. Jeez. What I should have done is brought my compression tester home. But I didn't do that, did I? Nope, didn't do that. Good going, Will. Well, alright then. That means I have to take all of this apart and see if I can get the crankshaft back in time. I also just noticed this. You see how that back timing cover has just been absolutely eating into those cam gears. It's been going crazy. But yeah, so your cams, there are 2 marks, and they are right. If I can zoom in and get a little bit better angle. You can kind of see them, yeah. So right there and right there, right above that black piece, both of those are basically together. And then down here, you have the mark on the timing cover for the crankshaft. It's right there. So I don't remember if it's the mark to the right or if it's any of the marks to the left, which I'm pretty sure that the middle one to the left is TDC. I don't remember what the one standalone is over here, but I'm almost positive the one in the middle on the left of those 3 marks is TDC. And as you can see, those are clearly off. So hopefully we didn't bend valves. So now verifying that it does or has jump time, I'm going to have to put it back in time, start it, make sure it doesn't have misfires, any bent valves or any of that, and then put a timing set on it. Because evidently this has already happened, and I don't want to throw Devin under the bus. I don't think that he did the procedure right, and I hate to say that, but this one has a very specific procedure, and if you don't do it correctly, these are finicky. These have a little bit more slop in them than the B18s do. So if you don't do them right, you don't get the tensioner position correctly, I mean, it can ruin it, that's for sure. So he drove it for a while, didn't have any problems out of it. He put a timing set on it. It jumped time, which this is how the story goes, I guess. It jumped time. He put it back in time. Got it home, drove it for a few more weeks, jumped time again, and then he parked it. He was tired of messing with it. So that is where I come in. Y'all some days, So normally the easiest way to do this is to use these 2 holes right here and lock the cams here while you fool around with everything else, because if you don't, everything in these is set up so much differently than like a J series. Like, these have to be held, otherwise you're going to be playing, you know, move the camshaft as you try to put tension on the belt, and it just sucks. It's an absolute nightmare. It's not fun to do. So me personally, I recommend to do as they designed it to be done. And stick your, little thing down in there and lock the cams down. Put the crank where it needs to be. And also, since these are so low compression, that crankshaft can move very easily. So once you like separate this, like, it's so funny how easy those are to move. So literally I could take the tension out of this and probably move the crank with just the belt, and then set the belt back on there with these locked. And it's a little finicky, but it can be done. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this metal bracket out and possibly move the power steering line out of my way. And do exactly that. I'm going to loosen the tensioner. I'm going to push it all the way down, lock it down, and then pull them off the cams, rotate the crank until it's lined up on the timing cover. Put them back on the cams, unlock the tensioner, and then see what happens inside. So, cool. I am ashamed at how many Allen heads I just had to grab. But, it's like that sometimes. You just gotta play with it until, it does the thing. Oh. Get in there. There we go. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh. Can you see that little spring down in there? If it'd focus on the right thing. You see that little spring right there? Right there. Right there. Right there where the tip of my finger is. Right, or where shadow is. Right there. That one. You see that right there? You gotta look. That one is your tensioner spring, which I have my 1/4 inch ratchet hooked to right there. Down there. If you can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but right there. You definitely can't see it now. Anyway, so what you want to do, if you're trying to do it the method that I'm doing it, grab a Phillips head. Oh, there's my actual finger. Grab a Phillips head, the longest one that you can find, and you're going to try and put it on the actual tensioner body at the bottom of that spring, and push the spring down, or the tensioner down, I mean. And while you have that pushed down, you're going to lock that 14 bolt down. That way it'll keep everything loose. If you don't do that, well, let's just say it sucks. It's a pain in the ass. So lock the old camelators and then loosen that 14, put it back to tightening, put it back on the 14, and then compress that down, and at the same time you got that compressed, tighten that 14 down. Alright, so I don't think that I'm going to be able to do this without you not being able to see it. But I'm going to try, and I don't remember where my dadgum Phillips heads are, or flat heads are, so we're just going to have to do it this way. It is kind of a pain in the ass. So, just trust the L process, you know what I mean? Oh no. Oh no, hang on. Whoa, what is going on here? Sorry, I had to take your light from you there. I see exactly what happened now. Oh no, I do have to take it apart. So the tensioner has a pin that it sits on the body, and then it has another spot that it hooks the spring to, basically to, like, hang on. So I didn't notice it at first, and I highly, highly doubt that you're going to be able to see it. But if you can see where the bottom of that spring looks like it's hooked to a little silver metal leg above that 10mm bolt. And it's actually resting on that bolt. And when I went to compress it, you know, I was perplexed to find that it's already compressed. But not really, it's just that the tensioner was not set up correctly on the block. So now I do have to pull all of this off, because now I can't mess with that at all. I'm gonna have to resituate that, and then hope and pray that we didn't bend valves, because that was not put on there correctly. So I'm assuming what happened was that it slid off the pin in the block that is supposed to house one side of it, and then you have the tensioner spring that holds on to the other end of it. And what must have happened is it basically popped off of that pin on the back side. No, well, no, it looks like it's still there. Okay. Did it break? Did the spring break? What is going on here, man? No, because now I can see that the pin, it's on the pin. Maybe you can see that too. It's underneath that 10mm bolt. There's a pin that's going through a little housing, and that's the tensioner housing. So that's on, but for some reason this thing is just wedged onto, like, yeah, there is no compressing it. So that's really strange. It's supposed to go the opposite way. It's supposed to be much higher up, and then as you unlock the bolt, or the spring is supposed to pull it, you know, tight like springs do, and then once you loosen that bolt, it doesn't go anywhere. It's until you compress it down and extend that spring and then lock it down as it's supposed to sit like that. So now I'm really intrigued. Alright, so we are about to lose daylight. It's getting pretty close, so we probably got another 30 minutes or so, something like that. So what I'm going to do is tear this down, start taking this apart, and then probably have to wait until tomorrow to pull the crank pulley off. I'll go ahead and unhook these and then bring my impact for the motor mount and the crank pulley. So that's what I'll do. So one thing I did notice, check this out. I don't know why I hadn't noticed it till now. See how nice and clean that AC compressor is? Yeah. This AC's that cold. That just took the value up a couple, I don't know, 25 cents at least. At the least. Alright, so I have it down to the crankshaft. I have the belts off of it and whatever. Devin evidently just ooga-doogaed everything on this thing. I mean, he had like 35 foot-pounds on each of these 10mm bolts. So if that's any indication, I am going to have to get my impact and weighted socket for that crankshaft pulley. I am almost completely sure. So we will see. You can kind of see a little bit better with the marks now. Yeah. So the cams are locked and these are not lining up whatsoever. So, yep. To be continued. I guess I will update you guys tomorrow when I get home. I'm gonna grab some tools and then after work we will continue. Well, it's tomorrow. And now it's time, you know, to see what, you know, what we're dealing with. And I think I have what I needed, which is this and this. If you don't know, this combination is a Honda crank bolt's worst nightmare. It's your best wet dream. Yep. All right. Let's see if we can get on over here. There it comes. Yeah, I told you I was going to need that impact. You were trying to say I didn't need it. Well, I was telling you. So while I take this thing apart, I want to tell you a little bit of history that I don't know if you know about. Soichiro Honda, the man himself, in the 70s, sent General Motors basically an example of you know, his CVCC capabilities, right? GM wasn't having it. Well, what happened was he wanted to collaborate and get a little slice of the American market, you know, a little bit more than what they were getting. And well, let's just say that CEO of GM, like I said before, wasn't having it. So he basically sent Soichiro a letter that said, you know, you build motorcycle engines, we build cars, so you just stick to what you're good at. Soichiro said, okay, you know, that's fair. I mean, it is, you know, I do build motorcycles, so that's fair. So what he did was he imported mid to late 70s, you know, the oil crisis and all that, mid to late 70s Chevrolet Impala. Soichiro and his team redesigned the redesigned the Chevy small block cylinder head, and they completely introduced the CVCC system into it, you know, better, you know, combustion, all that jazz, whatever. And he sent the car back and basically said, here you go, you know, and it made more horsepower, it was more efficient, and it was actually lighter than when it had come to them. And I don't think General Motors liked that too much. But that's a little bit of car history for you. And if you don't believe me, look it up. Alright, let's get these here timing cover bolts on out of him. Oh, God. I will commend Devin on this. He put every timing cover bolt back in this thing. Every single one of them. And that is extremely, extremely rare. Most of the time, these things are just broke, you know what I mean? Alright, so let's see just how bad off this thing is. Because it looks to be pretty off. And it is. It's not crazy off, but it's enough. It's a one full tooth. So, I don't know what's up with this daggum spring though. Oh. It's like the spring just is not working. Yeah, it's not supposed to sit like that at all. Oh goodness. Well, let me just get the thing up in there. Let's see what's going on. So basically our cam gears moved just a smidgen after I got that ungodly tight crank bolt out of here. But if you can see, it's pretty much a full tooth. You know, this one pretty much stayed put, but this one did not. So, go down up in here. Maybe you'll be able to see it. I'm going to try and get it to where you can. Oh! Alright. See that mark on the crank? It's got this little dash, and it's supposed to mate up with that little arrow to the left of it. Alright, so with the cams back where they need to be, you can see that that arrow on the block and that little mark on the crankshaft sprocket do not line up. Damn near a full tooth off. It's kind of hard to see it on the camera. The camera makes it look like it's a little bit closer, but from this angle, it is for sure a full tooth off. So we're gonna have to fix that. Hopefully, I'm not gonna be super muffled because I feel like this is going to make me muffled. So if you can see that spring right there on that tensioner, and you can see that now our tensioner is not touching the oil pump like it was before. I think maybe I wasn't seeing that the spring had come off. I'm not sure. But what this is supposed to do is come down. You know, it's supposed to be able to spring, like be able to have some movement. So before it was not doing that. It was just resting basically on this 10 millimeter bolt right there. So now you can see that it is actually, you know, where it's supposed to be. Let me see if I can do it with this hand to show you a little bit better what I mean. Yeah. So you see that movement right there. So this is supposed to be in the unlocked position whenever you're adding tension to the belt. You're supposed to compress this down with like a flathead or a pry bar, I'll show you in a minute, and then lock this 14 millimeter down so that it stays in this extended position. So that gives you the most room to put the belt around this. Then, once you get the belt set up, all you have to do is loosen this 14, and that spring will snap the tensioner against the belt, essentially, and keep, you know, hold tension there. So let me get all of this set up, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Well, big surprise, it's nighttime, you know. When I get home, it's almost 5, so I don't really have much daylight to play with. I forgot how much I absolutely hate putting this together. I really hate it. So what I ended up having to do was take the spring completely off the tensioner. I'm almost thinking this is the wrong belt. I do not remember them being this just unnecessarily tight. But I pulled the spring off of the tensioner, had it loosely sitting there. I was remembering having to go to the exhaust cam, and it's not. You have to go to the tensioner, water pump, intake cam. Otherwise, there's just nothing there. There's no way you can get it over the cam gear. So I've got it back in time, and it's good to go. I've rolled it over, and before I put anything back on here, I'm not going to put the alternator belt. I'm not going to put the power steering pump. I'm not even going to put the timing cover on this thing. I'm going to put the pulley on it. I'm going to lock the crank bolt down. I'm going to kind of half-ass set the valve cover on here. Neighbor's cat. And we're just going to see if it runs, because it's in time. I've confirmed it's in time now. If it doesn't run, the cylinder head has to come off. And I'm not putting all this back together just to have to take it all back apart, pull the cylinder head off of it. So let's see if it runs. I'm going to throw this on here real quick. We're going to put a jump box on it and see what happens. Cross your fingers and toes. Alright, hopefully my light stays on long enough. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. So, let's try it. I think that we are going to have to pull the head off this thing. It had to have bent valves. Dang it. Dang, that sucks. And if I had a jump box worth of crap, we could probably get it started. Let's see. There you go. Tell you what, let's take the battery off of the Integra and put it on here for now, since that one is about to have some serious stuff done anyway. So, all right, take 79 or 15. It runs. Holy crap, dude. It freaking runs, bro. It freaking runs, dude. Success. Success, dude. Success. Nice. Yes. Guess I'm not pulling the head off. Nice. Dude, that's killer. That is so awesome. Definitely needs a valve adjustment. Nice, dude. Nice. Okay. Let's shut her down. Dude. Huge success. Huge success. Dude. The CRV runs, man. It freaking runs, and I am pumped. So, it runs pretty decent. I think I need to put the covers back on and put everything back together. And probably recheck everything tomorrow. I need to get a valve cover gasket because that one ripped. I need to put all the accessories back on and all that stuff, and then see how it actually like drives. I need to adjust the valves, so I will be doing that probably in the next video. But dude, super stoked, man. So stoked. So a lot of people have already shown a bunch of interest in this thing. I bought it to flip. I mean, I bought it really to get rid of it and then probably put some cash into the Jeep or into the Integra. I started to make a video on the Integra. You haven't seen that yet, but hopefully we'll be on the channel soon. I've got like 4 videos that I've gotten some progress in, and then either find that I need to order something, or, you know, long story short, I just haven't got there yet. I haven't gotten to that final step to be able to finish the video, put it on the channel, and there's like 5 of those. So unfortunately, this one was something to quickly get on here. Everyone likes a, you know, underdog, right? So, you know, a cheap car that's been sitting for a little bit, couple hours of, you know, cussing and fighting, and then you get it running again. So, like I said, people have shown interest in it, and it's probably going to go away pretty quick. I had a black one a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, a few years ago, and I liked it a lot. But CRVs just aren't really my thing. I just know that they are pretty desirable, and sometimes you can get them very cheap. You can get them very cheap not running. They're notorious for the valves tightening up, the valve adjustment. They just tighten up until the valve is essentially not closing anymore, and it just pops a hole in a valve, and you have no compression on the cylinder, and it misfires like crazy. So you'll end up with, you know, a flashing check engine light on one of these, and that's 9 times out of 10, that's what ends up happening. They hardly ever jump time. Normally, in a situation like this, when somebody goes in there and they put a belt on there and then it jumps time, that is much more common, like much more likely. So with that being said, I'm gonna go clean up. I'm gonna clean my tools up. I'm sorry for some of the video that was black. It's dark out here. I don't have the best lighting. It's kind of hard to get all that situated. I'm already out of space, you know, so I just had to kind of put it where I could. So if you watch this video, thank you so much. Consider liking, subscribing, doing all that stupid crap that I hate telling you to do. If you don't want to, cool, totally get it. If you want to see me be stupid and possibly wait 3 or 4 months before I put another video on the channel, that is cool too. Cool, if you like that sort of thing. If you like this kind of like passive aggressive like punishment of where I'm like, yeah, here's a video, and then I'm like 3 months later, 4 months later, here's another video, but it's not really that good, so here you go. And then you're like, this is stupid. So anyway, it's just a bunch of me rambling. Anyway, cool. So I'm gonna clean up, and then I'm gonna go edit this, and then I'm gonna put it on the channel and probably be up late, possibly be late for work, and Alan's gonna yell at me. But it runs. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited about it.